shadow the new Praetorian. So good for y'all to be seeing me again today, YouTube. I decided I'd do an old school video today because something is on my mind. Something is bothering the ogre. All of this swirling around President Trump, all of this nonsense, for the most part, has got me wondering what is become of our country. What's become of the lunatics on the left? Or is it impossible for them to lose and to accept it? I remember when Trump was still running for the nomination for the Republican Party. You know, will you accept the results if you don't win? And he said, yeah. Other people said, yeah, but they didn't. Signed a pledge to endorse. When the time came, there's no endorsing. I mean, dagnabbit. Oh man, what Cruz did at the Republican National Convention was disgraceful. You know, for 8 years, I was basically told I couldn't dislike the president or I was a racist. He did things. I'm not going to go into a bunch of them. I'll probably do a whole video on the stuff that Barack Hussein Obama did that no one else would get away with. That if Trump did these things, it would be the end, I guess. But they're always saying it will be the end of Trump, and the end doesn't come. Listen, folks, Comey is a disgruntled employee that got fired. His testimony was a joke. It was nothing that Trump did wrong. He didn't say he did anything wrong. How can a man say that I wrote this stuff down and I took memos thinking that Trump's a liar, but didn't take memo 1 for Hillary Rotten Clinton? You got to be kidding me. There comes a time where you have to look at the source and you have to weigh it in the light of the evangelical truth. Not what you want it to be. Not what the foaming at the mouth MSM tells you that it should be. This legacy media, it's insane. I can't wait to see Alex Jones' interview with Megyn Kelly, but that's on another topic. So I watched the entire testimony with James the Cuck Comey. Unable, to be honest, this guy, this paragon of virtue, this standard bearer of truth, unable, to be honest. Unable to accept the fact that you got played, Comey. The demos used you. You called it, you know, it wasn't an investigation. It was, what is it? It was a matter. Loretta Lynch should be on trial. Their testimony in front of the Senate proves it. There's no way she should be able to get away with this. In fact, Comey, nah, I don't believe in the immunity for these people, because they wouldn't give me immunity if the FBI was looking into me for whatever they thought I was doing wrong. They'll make it up. Comey lied under oath. I believe that's 5, maybe 10 years in prison. They call it a gotcha, gimme. You know, if the FBI, I've said it many times on my channel, if the FBI, CIA, if any government agency questions you, be strong. Don't say a word. They'll come in and use emotional tactics on you. They'll try to give you coffee, offer you a cigarette if you smoke, try to be nice and try to get you to talk. Well, listen, if you have any inconsistencies, in other words, what did you do last Monday, Mr. Ogre? Oh, last Monday. Well, no, what did you have for breakfast? Oh, for breakfast, you know what? I was going to skip breakfast, but then I ended up having a bowl of oatmeal. Hours go by. So you said last Monday, Mr. Ogre, that you had a bowl of oatmeal for breakfast, or no, in fact, they wouldn't leave me like that. They said, well, what was it that you said you had for breakfast last Monday, Mr. Ogre? Oh, let me think. You know, I was in a hurry and I was going to skip breakfast. Pretty sure I ate a couple Eggo waffles. Bam! You just lied to the FBI. I would have, in that case, lied to the FBI. That's a felony charge. Put you in prison for 5 years. I might be 10. What's this with Comey? Why would he get immunity? He leaked. He said he leaked. He said he did it to initiate the appointment of a special prosecutor. I'm not going to get into that either. So fast forward, and here we are. You know, of course, Mueller is in there now. He's doing his thing, whatever. This is another guy, very questionable. And what made me think the guy might be questionable right off the bat? For one, I remember when he was director of the FBI, and for another, just another paragon of virtue, truth, and justice. Another standard bearer for absolute transparency. Bull! When they say that, especially when the left's saying that, you got to open your eyes and look carefully. They are pulling something on you. So Sessions yesterday, what a guy. I wasn't feeling that great yesterday. I spent a lot of time just sitting around. That's probably one of the reasons I'm a little bit behind in my duties today, and I've got to rush to catch up. But I didn't completely waste that time sitting around. I spent a lot of that time watching this testimony from Jeff Sessions. Coretta Scott King made a statement in a letter about Mr. Sessions, about Attorney General Sessions. And yeah, I think it kept him from getting a judgeship. Most people wouldn't know this. Coretta Scott King later recanted that. And you have these blithering, race-baiting people that bring this up again and again and again and again. I met Mrs. Coretta Scott King years ago. I want to believe it was 1984. What a wonderful person. Just a powerful presence. I don't think she would do anything to disparage, or would have, she's passed, done anything to disparage anybody without reason. And when she found out that she was saying things about somebody who was a champion of equality, Jeff Sessions, somebody that was just there to make sure that we all get along as best we can, and then if the government has anything to do with it, they would not enact any laws that would keep that from happening. Boy, I watched them try to grill this guy yesterday, and it wasn't happening. I've seen the spin from both angles. Oh, Sessions this and Sessions that, and then of course you go to, that's CNN, you know, MSN, oh, it's Sessions and he's terrible, he needs to step down, and they're trying to pick apart his testimony, which I can't see anything where they can do that. Then, of course, you switch over to Fox News, and, oh, the sun shines out of you-know-where from Jeff Sessions, and if it wasn't for his dark spot with that sun shining out of it, we would not have light, laughter, and love in the world. I don't agree with either one. I know that he was a champion for civil rights. I know that he's a champion for equality. I don't like his stance on medical marijuana. He's a Neanderthal when it comes to that, a victimless crime, and he wants to crack down on marijuana. Why don't you crack down on crack? In fact, why don't you not crack down on any of that stuff? Why don't you let people do what they want to do if it's a victimless crime? If you are the only victim, if I am the only victim in what's happening and what I'm doing, then there is no crime. I hate to break it to y'all, but this is my body. This is my brain. This is my life. I can destroy it any way I want. I can improve it any way I want. And if I can't do that, you have taken out my fundamental right to the pursuit of happiness, Mr. Sessions. So I hope he gets a line on that. And I know I got off in the weeds a little bit there. But watching his testimony and seeing this man stand up and say, listen, anybody that would impugn me, I have been a faithful servant of the government of the United States of America for 35 years. No one's ever called him into question before. No one's ever called into question anybody walking past a dignitary in a room with hundreds of people in it, maybe shaking their hands and saying hello. That is not a meeting. They're trying to spin this like he sat down in the back room. He's like, what can Russia do for us? And please let me know what we can do for Russia. Are you kidding me? They're still spinning that Russia influenced our election when Comey, right on the, and I ain't gonna base everything on what Comey said. I already mentioned he's a liar. But Comey sat there under oath and said that the Russians did not affect one vote in our country. So cheers, hurrah, huzzah. You mean they spent this time, effort, energy, and didn't affect one vote? Well, cheers, America. Good on you. Looks like we did the right thing. So here's Senator Sessions, here's Attorney General Sessions, sitting here being grilled by his once colleagues, and this oh, I can't even remember her name, this big fat dark-haired woman was just boom, 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 trying to ask him questions before he was even done answering the one before, desperately trying to make him look bad. With this smug look on her face, you know this woman is a piece of garbage just by looking at her. With all due respect, I'm trying to be mild here. If I use terms like that, it's not to it's because I don't know how else to describe it. What should I say? This woman of questionable morals? There you go, then. No idea how to put it. I didn't even get her name down because, to me, I hope that she's gone. I hope that she, does her 6 years and gets the heck out. She's absolutely standing in the doorway and blocking up the hall. It's time for her to move on. So Attorney General Sessions is trying to answer, and she's just rattling, and the chair had to gavel her and say, listen, why don't you let him answer the questions? You can't just badger him. If it wasn't for Donald Trump, I believe that he would be accepted as the Attorney General. Everyone that he's appointed has been in question. Barack, again, Hussein couldn't do any wrong. And, the first black, no, he's not the first black president, he's the first half-white president. Y'all got played, black people. I mean, I could think of some really good black folks that would have been president that were real black folk. Not like these, don't let me call them Uncle Tom. These Uncle Tom Oreos that ain't even white nor black nor accepted by nobody, like Baraki Wacky Tobacco. You gotta be kidding. If this seems a little frustrated on my part, it's because I am. I desperately would love to know what America can do to fix this, what the United States can do to come back together, and it's eluding me. It's not Trump that's dividing us. It's the insane lunatic left. It's the Antifas. It's these Black Lives Matters, love Trump's hate, insane maniacs. They talk about love Trump's hate, and then they whack James Alsop on top of the head with a daggone stick and cut his head open. They bike lock guy, and then they point to Bay Stickman, who's right there. They point to Bay Stickman and say, well, he hit somebody in the head with a stick during a vicious, violent, physical melee that all parties were participating in with equal vigor. And in that case, give me a stick. In fact, look at this, folks. I got one right here. The very stick that I offer to Bay Stickman if he ever does come by Police State. With the Britisher, Amanda Wolfchild Day is dead, and your ever-loving blue-eyed ogre. Check us out next Monday. Oh, what a just a terrible plug that was at a terrible time. So listen, I gotta wrap this up. Comey fell on his face. Made himself look like a jackass. He admitted that he treated Trump different than he did anybody else that he'd ever worked for. With no real good reason. You can't say you thought Donald Trump was going to lie, so you wrote it down, and then you didn't write down what Hillary Clinton said? The woman doesn't know how to tell the truth. And then you have Sessions getting up there, and you see the juxtaposition of these two men. One, just a fawning lapdog. Anything you want, boss. Comey. And the other one, a stand-up guy. A man that went right in there, right in front of the Senate, right on the hot seat, and said, no, you will not call me a traitor. Bring your evidence or cease and desist. I love this country. We have a long and storied history. Not as long as many. We're very young compared to the rest of the world, but to an American it seems long. 1776. Can you think back that far, folks, and imagine what it must have been like? Drop your weapons, you rebel scum! And we said, no, we won't. And we fought the most powerful engine of war, the most fearsome battle machine that the world knew at the time. The bloody redcoats. The bloody, vicious British. But yeah, they seem all nice with their tea and their cordial after dinner. But you don't want to face them on the field of battle. And we did. With the help of a few frogs, we won. Did we go through all that to come to this? Listen, folks, I don't have a huge audience, but things spread. Wake your friends up if you haven't. If you're an American listening to me and you feel like someone is falling into this pit of liberal lunacy, of progressive panic, maybe it's high time that you pulled that friend aside and you said, listen, friend, we're only here for a short time. It may seem like it's going to last forever right now to you, but it's not. Look in the mirror. You're a day older today than you were yesterday. Is this what you want? Is this how you want to spend your life? In hate? In trying to dictate how others live their lives? How about a little self-improvement? I'm going to exercise that right now, and exercise it, by that I mean as soon as I hang up, I'm getting on my elliptical and I'm going to exercise before I do my duties. I'll tell you what, folks. Wake up. And if you're woke, wake up your friends. Wake up your neighbors. Don't let go of this beautiful idea of individual freedom. Don't fall into the Comey trap. If you want an example, look at Jeff Sessions. I'm going to say it again, I don't necessarily care for the man tremendously. But watching the dignity that he handled this insanity with yesterday, it was second to none. Jeff Sessions, Attorney General Sessions, may God bless you, sir. May you continue to speak the truth in the face of madness. I hope that you'll always find the courage to stand face to face with your accusers, to look them right in the eye and to say, you will not impugn me or my patriotism. And if you're gonna, bring your proof, or shut up and sit down. Now, folks, remember, be good to your friends, be good to your family members, be good to your loved ones. Be quick to say you're sorry. Be even quicker to accept an apology, especially when that thing your friend, your family member, your loved one has done seems to be so huge, you'll never be able to forget about it. Because constant viewers, fellow Americans, at a time you think not, your friends, your family members, your loved ones, your life and your cause, and yes, your beloved America will depart from you. Hey, Sidney Rough Diamond, can you believe we fought y'all all those years ago? Just let it go to shit, man. I cannot understand what's going on, brother. Sometimes I just wish I could.